Once there was a small town. A man was living happily with small family comprising his wife and a son. They had a beautiful house, having lush green garden in front and backyard. As his son was growing up, he noticed that the little boy's behavior was getting changed. His son was developing a very bad temper. He tried to counsel him, but there was no result. The boy used to get angry very frequently, and often out of anger he used bad language. His words started hurting others. He scolded kids in school, neighbors, and even his friends due to anger. His friends and neighbors started avoiding him, and his parents were getting really worried about him. One beautiful morning, he called his son in his bedroom. The father had a plan to improve the behavior of his son. He gave him a bag of nails and a hammer, and said that every time the boy lost his temper, he had to hammer a nail into the wooden fence of the backyard. At first, it sounded strange to the young boy, but the boy followed his father's instructions, and on the very first day he hammered 43 nails into wooden fence at the backyard. The father asked his son to notice how frequently boy was getting annoyed and angry in a particular day. This was alarming, and the little boy decided to control on his anger. The boy gradually began to notice the anger-generating moments deliberately. He tried to control his temper over the next few weeks, and the number of nails he was hammering into the fence slowly decreased. Finally, the day came when the boy didn't lose his temper at all. He told his father the news, and the father suggested that the boy should now pull out a nail every day he kept his temper under control. The days passed, and the young boy was finally able to tell his father that all the nails were gone. The boy learned the art of getting rid of anger. He was very happy as he could change his behavior. The father took his son by the hand and led him to the wooden fence of backyard. The father said, "Excellent. You have done very well, my son, but look at the holes in the fence. The fence will never be the same. When you say things in anger, they leave a scar just like this one. You can put a knife in a man and draw it out. It won't matter how many times you say I am sorry, the wound is still there." Buddhist teachings tell us that meditation can train the mind to replace destructive emotions with positive states, like equanimity. The Atlas of Emotion is a tool to help you better understand what emotions are, how they are triggered, and what their effects are. Our emotions shape our lives, not just our thoughts and behavior. We get angry when something blocks us, or when we think we're being treated unfairly. Sadness is a response to loss. Feeling sad allows us to take a time out and show others that we need support. Feeling disgusted by what is toxic helps us avoid being poisoned both physically or socially. Our fear of danger lets us anticipate threats to our safety. Enjoyment describes the many good feelings that arise from experiences both novel and familiar. Thoughts are private, emotions are public. Emotions are an instant brain response. They happen to us. We don't choose them. But when do emotions become destructive? Science says all emotions are natural and okay, and that emotions become destructive only when they are expressed inappropriately. For example, it's normal to experience sadness when someone dies, but a depressed person is sad in an inappropriate way. Buddhism, on the other hand, believes that destructive emotions are obstacles. We must overcome them to achieve happiness. Constructive emotions help improve a situation. Destructive emotions make it worse. Many of us have a hard time coping with negative emotions. For instance, the anger we feel when we are hurt is the same as the flight, fight, or freeze response we experience when our survival is seriously threatened. A practice for the chakra's emotional intelligence is of vital importance. Medical professionals are learning that a huge, overlooked reason many North Americans get sick with terminal illnesses is our cultural tendency to repress emotions. The chakras are centers of energy, or wheels that relate to certain parts of the body and have specific emotional and energetic resonances. Here is how to boost our EQ using the chakras. How our glands process emotion. It's long been understood that yoga is a practice for body, mind, and heart. We often talk about chakras in yoga and how certain emotions may be stored in specific places in the body. More literally, perhaps yoga moves our bodies into positions that have intuitive emotional resonance, and we can help but respond emotionally. Learn how our glands process our emotions in this story. Our emotions unfold on a timeline. They begin with a trigger that initiates the emotional experience and ultimately results in a response. The trigger occurs in a context defined by our circumstances and feelings, the event itself, and our worldview. The same stimulus can lead to different responses. For example, we might suppress feelings of frustration at work, but express our frustration by yelling at a family member at home. Emotion suppression can create a short-term win, like avoiding an argument, but can become destructive if you are hurt by not speaking up for yourself. We can regain control over our lives and find peace by not reacting to our thoughts, doubts, and anger. For instance, if someone makes a negative comment about you, instead of reacting with anger or hurt, you can choose not to react, thereby maintaining your peace and composure. Non-reaction is important because it stops your negative emotions from running your life. If you practice non-reaction, you'll stay calm in the stressful situations you face every day. Non-reaction is the ability to postpone immediate reaction until you've had a chance to consider carefully what is happening. The philosophy of non-reaction is simple in theory, but challenging to practice. It's tempting to lose your temper and say what's on your mind at times. Often, you've already reacted before you even have time to consider the meaning of the circumstance you find yourself in. This is where meditation can help you. Please subscribe to our channel for more motivational and inspirational videos. Thank you.